Hello students, this is video number 2 part 2 of chapter 6 application of derivatives. In my last video I had discussed about the increasing and decreasing function, and I had told you how to see whether a function is increasing and decreasing using graphs, as well as how you will approach it from examination point of view. I told you when f dash x the derivative is greater than 0, then the function is increasing in a particular interval, and if it is f dash x the derivative of fx is less than 0, then the function is decreasing in that interval. And if in a particular interval the function is both increasing and decreasing, it is said to be neither increasing nor decreasing in that particular interval. Now I had discussed a few questions of exercise 6.2. Today I will discuss a few more questions of exercise 6.2. This is question number 9. Prove that y is equal to 4 sin theta upon 2 plus cos theta minus theta is an increasing function of theta in 0 to pi by 2 closed interval. So let us see how we are going to do this. So y is given as this, and I will find dy by d theta. Over here I have applied u by v rule to find the derivative of this, and derivative of minus theta with respect to theta is 1 minus 1. So when I solve it, I get this 4 cos theta minus cos square theta upon 2 plus cos theta whole square, and ultimately I'll get this when I take cos theta common from the numerator. Now we see that the denominator is a square, whole square. So it has to be greater than 0, whatever be the value of the this term 2 plus cos theta. And in 0 to pi by 2 closed interval, this is the first quadrant, cos theta, all trigonometric ratios are positive in the first quadrant that you have learned in grade 11. So cos theta lies between 0 and 1 over here, and therefore if it lies between 0 and 1, so maximum it can take the value of value 1. So 4 minus 1, maximum value of cos theta is 1, is 3, which will always be greater than 0. So dy by d theta, and cos theta is already positive here, this is positive, this is positive. So dy by d theta is greater than or equal to 0. So y is increasing in 0 to pi by 2. Why it is increasing? Why it is not strictly increasing? Because it can be 0 also. When theta is 0, when theta is pi by 2, when theta is pi by 2, then cos pi by 2 is 0. So if anything, whatever be this quantity, 0 into this is 0. So it can be 0 also, and it is greater than 0 also. Therefore it is increasing and not strictly increasing. Had it been the open interval, it would have been strictly increasing. Now question number 12. Which of the following functions are strictly decreasing on 0 to pi by 2? Is it cos x, is it cos 2x, is it cos 3x, or is it tan x? I'll explain this. I had already done before how to see whether it is increasing or decreasing. I'll explain for cos 2x first. So let fx is equal to cos 2x. So f dash x is minus 2 sin 2x. Now we are given that x belongs to the open interval 0 to pi by 2. So if I multiply the whole inequality by 2, I'll get 0 into 2 is 0, 2 into x is 2x, and pi by 2 into, so 2x, this quantity 2x, here theta is 2x. So 2x is between 0 and pi, that means it covers first and second quadrant. So 2x lies in first and second, either first or second quadrant. So sin 2x in the first quadrant and second quadrant is greater than 0 always. So minus 2 sin 2x, if I am multiplying this quantity with a negative number, it will become less than 0. That means f dash x is less than 0, and therefore fx is strictly decreasing in open interval 0 to pi by 2. It will never be 0, because this will be between 0, this is the open interval 0 to pi by 2. So fx is strictly decreasing in 0 to pi by 2. So let us discuss the C part over here. F of x is cos 3x. So f dash x is minus 3 sin 3x. So now x lies between 0 and pi by 2. So 3x will lie, if I multiply the whole thing by 3, I get 3x will lie between 0 and 3 pi by 2. That means it will cover the 3 quadrants. So in the first and second quadrant, that means from 0 to pi. 0 to pi sine 3x is greater than or equal to 0. That means minus 3 sine 3x will be less than or equal to 0, and that means f dash x is less than or equal to 0. And in pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, this is from 0 to 3 pi by 2. This is the third quadrant. In third quadrant, sine 3x is negative. It will be closed interval because pi is there. So over here, sine 3x is less than or equal to 0. That means minus 3 sine 3x is greater than or equal to 0. If I multiply a negative number with the negative number, it will become positive, and f dash x is greater than or equal to 0. So in this, when 0 is less than 3x is less than or equal to pi, we have 0 is less than x is less than or equal to pi by 3. So x lies between pi by 3. When 3x lies between 0 and pi, x lies between 0 and pi by 3. And when x lies between pi and 3 pi by 2, 3x lies between pi and 3 pi by 2, x will lie between pi by 3 to pi by 2. So in 0 to pi by 3, fx is increasing, and in pi by 3 to pi by 2, fx is decreasing. So it is neither increasing nor decreasing in the interval 0 to pi by 2. So we say that in this function also, in this case also, fx is not increasing. We have to find where it is strictly increasing. So in these two, it is B and C part, it is neither increasing nor decreasing. A part you do yourself, and D part is none of these. So you will find out whether the answer is none of these or whether the answer is A. Now question number 13. On which of the following interval is the function f given by this is strictly decreasing? So this is 0, 1, this is pi by 2 to pi, 0 to pi by 2, and none of these. So let us solve this. This is MCQ kind of question, but we have to solve and see. So in 0 to 1, so fx is this, f dash x will be 100x to the power 99 plus derivative of sin x is cos x. On 0, 1, x is greater than 0, which implies this quantity 100x to the power 99 will be obviously greater than 0. And on 0, 1, this is in radians given. So if I convert it into degree, it will be 0 to 57, 0, 57 degree approximately. You can calculate 1 radian is this, 180 by pi. So it will be equal to 57 degree approx. So that is x lies in quadrant 1. This is quadrant 1. 0 to 57, 0 to up to 0 to 90 is quadrant 1. So cos x is greater than 0 in quadrant 1. All trigonometric ratios are positive in quadrant 1. So f dash x, that means this quantity, this is greater than 0, I have already told. This is also greater than 0 because cos x lies in the first quadrant. So fx is strictly increasing in 0, 1. So question was what? On which of the following intervals is the function strictly decreasing? So here it is strictly increasing. So let us see the next one. Now x belongs to pi by 2 to pi. Next interval is this. So when I convert it into a real number, pi by 2 and pi, I get this. So every number on every angle is associated with some real number. So when I convert it into a real number by taking pi as 22 by 7, I get this. So x is greater than 1. X to the power 99 will obviously be greater than 1, and 100x to the power 99 will obviously be greater than 100. So when x belongs to this, x is greater than 1. So greater than 1.5, but we can it will be greater than 1 we are taking. So in pi by 2 to pi, cos x is negative. So from this is the second quadrant. Second quadrant, cos is negative. Only sine and cos x are positive. So that means cos x is negative. That means it lies between -1 and 0, because the maximum value of cos theta is +1. It cannot be 0 and 1. 0 and 1 is the first quadrant. So in the second quadrant, the value of cos theta will be between -1 and 0. So from 1 and 2, this is first equation. This is second equation. This is greater than 100, and the minimum value over here can be -1. So we can see that this whole quantity will be greater than 0. So therefore f dash x is greater than 0, and here it is strictly increasing. So similarly, you will do part C and part D yourself. Question number 19. Find the least value of a such that the function f given by fx is equal to x square plus ax plus 1 strictly increasing on 1 2. This is given to us that this function is strictly increasing on this interval. So f of x is x square plus ax plus 1. When I take the derivative of it, I get 2x plus a, and it is given that it is strictly increasing on this interval, open interval 1 comma 2. So f dash x is greater than 0 for all x belonging to 1 comma 2. Now that means x is between 1 and 2. 1 is less than x is less than 2. This means this. And then I want to know about this. So I multiply the whole thing by 2. I get 2 is less than 2x is less than 4. Which implies 2 plus a is less than 2x plus a is less than 4 plus a. Now it is strictly increasing. So f dash x is greater than 0. That means 2 plus a and 4 plus a both are greater than 0. That means a is greater than minus 2 and a is greater than minus 4. The intersection of these two is a is greater than minus 2. So least value of a, which can be here, it will be minus 2. So next question is, let I be any interval disjoint from minus 1 1. What does this mean, disjoint from minus 1 1? That it is any real number except the interval which includes minus 1 and 1, the closed interval. So r minus this interval, r minus this closed interval. This is my I. Prove that the function f given by this is strictly increasing on I. So it is strictly increasing. Let us find first I, we will write it as r minus the closed interval this. It is disjoint from this, other than this. So that means minus infinity to minus 1 open interval, union 1 to infinity. So we have subtracted this interval and we have taken the union of rest of the numbers. So f of x is x plus 1 by x, and f dash x will find out 1 minus 1 by x square. And when I simplify, I get this. So after simplification, we see that this is always positive. Now x is less than equal to minus 1 or x is greater than 1. With this, with I is what? I is either it is less than minus 1, x is less than minus 1, or x is greater than 1. From here we can see this. X is less than minus 1 and or x is greater than 1, because we have to exclude the open interval minus 1 and 1. So if x is less than minus 1, say x is minus 2, x is equal to minus 2. Substitute here minus 2, this term will be negative, this will be negative, minus 2 minus 1, minus 2 square will be positive, and minus into minus will be positive. So f dash x will be positive if I take in the interval this minus infinity to minus 1. You can take any number. I have taken minus 2, you can take minus 3, minus 4, anything, and you will find that f dash x turns out to be positive. Therefore fx is strictly increasing in this interval. Similarly, when x is greater than 1, that means now I am talking about this interval. So say 2. So f dash x will be, if I substitute here x is 2, so it will be 2 positive quantity. This is also a positive quantity. This is also a positive quantity. So we get a positive quantity ultimately. So fx is strictly increasing in this interval also. So it is strictly increasing in its union. So fx is strictly increasing in minus infinity minus 1 union 1 to infinity, which is nothing but I. So that's all for today's children. We'll proceed with the next topic in the next class. Thank you so much.